Alrighty, everyone. Welcome back to the broadcast. EGL continuing here with the second half. 3 games going to be on the board and the docket here today, and then we'll get underway. Of course, my name is Orbital, but with me, I have another brand new caster coming in here. Not so brand new to the scene, though. It is Super Thig that'll be joining us here for 3 games on. Super Thig, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm excited for this one because I've heard some fun stuff about these 2 teams coming up here. What can you tell me about Tempo Rush?
Tempo Rush, they're a powerhouse. This team's always winning everything that they're in. They've got some of the greatest players. They've got Kino, who's always a monster in the top lane. Insurance, really consistent AD carry. Lost to Shopkeeper, can play most roles. And then we've got Peanut now in the jungle, and Days in Your Life, who's I've seen really do so much before for this team.
All right, well, there you go. A little bit of a rundown as we are underway. Remember, it is still EXE on the team here. It is going to be Tempo Rush on that blue side to kick things off. And you could already see some of the bans coming down. The Ivern as well as the Karthus being taken away from Peanut. I mean, that feels understandable.
The Karthus for the loss to Shopkeeper. That guy will play that champion every single opportunity he can. You also have the Ornn. Always is banned against Alex. It's his best champion, and he's way too consistent with it. And Ari for Haruki is also his best champion.
Yep. Just gotta say no. We're not dealing with that today. I just don't want to touch that, and I think that's great. For right now, though, Kino is looking at a chance, and I like this pickup. The Seraphine is very different than we saw in earlier drafts from other teams. This is, I think, a pretty strong, just good teamfight composition setup. Just, you know, the encore and all that.
Yep, the EXE is known for loving their enchanters. Seraphine's always a big problem. I'm kind of surprised to not see it banned, but I guess Jinx is just too powerful to like let through right now. And the Seraphine could go in like 3 roles, which is also really painful to deal with in draft.
It's the ultimate flex. I keep forgetting there are like a certain number of champions that can flex into 3, and those are like the ultimate flexes, right? Seraphine is definitely one of them. Taking a look here, though, the Misfortune and Vi setting up a wombo of sorts. The Misfortune, though, as an ADC is quite surprising considering what EXE ran last time.
Yeah, I know he's been playing it a lot, and it's pretty nice to maybe try and get through those shield comps with the burst from her ult. The same with Vi. I like the Vi pick. It's one of Demon Ruler's best champions, and it's just really nice just to lock up some of those enchanters.
Very, very nice to have. But the answer, of course, is going to be that J4. It used to be the Lee Sin, right? Fist versus feet, but now it's Flag and Drag versus hands there. Akshan coming in here for Lost to Shopkeeper. Going to be saying, I'm not so lost in the sand. Great pick potential from those 2.
I don't think I've ever seen Shopkeeper play Akshan. I'm sure he's going to be fine on it. I could also see this going top lane. I think Kino has been playing this Akshan pick, trying to bring that to the top lane.
And that might be almost a misread. If the Akshan goes top, that's range versus range. The cannon coming out here. Very interesting. I like it.
Yeah, he might actually be picking that because it's a range top, so that he can also match that. And then I do like the Kennen pick. Really good for the lane on top of the MF ult, trying to burst down these carries before they can get all the healing back.
Try and keep it above water, keep it above board there, and make sure nothing comes of it. However, we are seeing the bans come out here. A fly-through of the Scion ban, assuming that that could be in a support-ish role, or topside role, I guess. Just, yeah, we're not dealing with that today. The Aatrox, however, this is a little bit of a flux. Normally, we see a double ban headed into a singular lane. However, the Senna and Aatrox both taken off the table by EXE, saying we do not want to hand either of those power picks over to the likes of Tempo Rush.
I mean, Senna Seraphine has always been an insanely strong bot lane, and then you still have that physical damage in that bot lane too. I'm wondering now, maybe it's a Kennen mid into the Akshan. So maybe Kennen is also flexed. But also Nautilus ban coming out.
It's so many little pieces here, and honestly, I don't think we'll know exactly where it goes until we see the rest of the draft. Maybe that is that flex between top and mid as well. That is going to be what looks like a Bard support coming out here. I say that, now it's an Amumu. So many dances on all over what I hope to know versus what I do know now. I like it, though. The CC coming in nice and heavy.
Amumu Misfortune was always a big thing in pro play, like last year or something, but it's still really strong. He's got one of the strongest level 1s in all of like the whole game, like 2 Qs. That it's really broken, and then you also have the MF who could really burst them out too. A con for some more engage. Pretty nice.
Just following up behind it. This is leaning in towards the engage, and I expect some crazy team fights as well. But what do you want to round it out with? And that is, as you said, an Akshan on top, as the Orianna will be locked in for Shopkeeper, taking that one away from Haruki. And I mean, Haruki, I piloted it in game number 3 of the day to pretty good extent. Now stolen away. What do you go for?
Yeah, I think they would put the Ken in mid here, and then just try and go with some more engage. And the Malphite's always one that's usually banned in the second phase as well. It's usually Scion Malphite banned against Alex. But instead they went with the Nautilus, and now they have to fight against this Malphite. And it's going to be even harder if it's an auction on top. He's not going to want to... If the auction falls a little bit behind, the Malphite will just be free farming in that lane the whole game.
Especially if we see the junglers get into a little bit of tangle, right? Both these junglers do like to apply early pressure, especially with the J4. You want that flag and drag combo to be down pretty much all the time. But coming in on the side, I mean, would you actually, for EXE, put any sort of resources to the top side then? Because I know you said if you can put the auction behind, that's great. But do you actually want to allocate resources up there for that?
I would probably put in a gank, maybe 2, just to make it so that Alex can farm in that lane without having to worry about it, and then after that you can start focusing everywhere else on the map and trying to getting other people ahead.
Would you then optimize for the mid or the bot side? Because the cannon was also a flex. It's been identified as kind of like, it's going to be there, right? Do you want that online more than the Misfortune of Mumu, or are you still saying, okay, let's look at that cannon for most of the proactive gank situations?
I think it would... That's a harder question. I think it kind of depends on where in the lane people are standing, because for all we know, Seraphine could just sit under tower, but at some point she's just gonna be throwing 1 Q and clearing the whole wave, and it's just really hard to gank her lane. I would probably go more towards ganking the Orianna. It's probably more likely that that'll work. Or you could bring the Kennen down to the bot lane and just 4-man dive the bot.
That would be the other option, right? Just, all right, no, we're not even worried about ganking 1 lane or 2. We'll just gank this one with all 2 of ours and full send it. On the flip side, though, for the likes of Tempo Rush, this is a composition that looks like they've played time and time again. It's a little bit, I want to say squishier, right? You take a look at a lot of the lanes. They don't exactly have a lot of beef to it. But if executed properly, this thing can pop off very quickly.
Yeah, this is really going to turn down to if Akshan is going to get enough in the side lane while the other 4 can probably survive this massive team fight comp from EXE. And to be honest, I don't know if they can. That is a lot of CC followed by an MF ult, and if that gets all layered properly, they're just going to explode. And I don't think Akshan can keep up with the side lane pressure.
That'll be one to watch. I mean, if we do see those ganks headed up there, if not, I mean, hey, maybe Kino has a fantastic game, right? We get to see that ease of access come in, the Akshan just with the range, just like, yeah, I'm having a great time. I don't know what you're talking about. Looking at it, though, for Peanuts, this player that you said yourself, not exactly the usual main starter for this roster, I feel like those are some pretty big shoes to fill, right?
Yeah, I mean, he usually is the support for this team, but having to flex him in for Zutter is definitely going to be big shoes to fill. But I believe in him. He's a really good player. He definitely is going to put some pressure somewhere. Probably they usually are putting a lot of their focus into this top lane. And I would think with where we see how we have like the survive lane, bot lane, I would assume he's going to be pathing towards top again this game as well. And it's really, I think, Kino that it's going to have to pull up and
put on the big boy pants.
Yeah,
best way we can
really
put it there.
Yeah.
I mean, I agree with that one. You look down the line, I mean, that was the one that has a lot of agency and the biggest chance to fail. as well. So I love the fact that you've already drafted us that idea of where are these players going to go, where are we going to see a lot of this action go down, where are we going to see this Akshan try and show up, or maybe the Akshan roams down as well, tries to get some value. I mean, you could do a sinker composition, which is great, the invisible ball transfer, right? You go ahead, send the Akshan in with the Orianna ball, and all of a sudden, death reigns from above. But only time will tell as we hopefully get into game here. This is going to be the third game of 6 here today. And, of course, this is going to be the first one for Tempo Rush. Go ahead. I'm going to set everything up because I am professional. I'm definitely very professional. Don't worry, everyone.
And we did talk about the Wombo on EXE, but there is also the Wombo on Rush as well, with the Rakan, Jarvan, Ori, and Seraphine ults all coming on top of each other. This is going to be a pretty explosive team fight, and it really will probably come down to who engages on the other team first.
Whoever gets the best engage, because if we watch, you know, Drew as well as Haruki just dive in, only catch one person with the Curse of the Sad Mummy plus a Slicing Maelstrom, you're just like, this is a problem here. But taking a look, battle lines are drawn, and it's a very simple battle line as well. No one stepping too far forward or too far back.
Yeah, I don't really expect anything to happen too early. I would have liked maybe to see the Amumu
Minions have spawned.
with how strong Amumu is to try and get some level 1 play going. But that being said, it is pretty hard with Rakan and Ori to actually fight against them early.
See what they can do. Quiet start as well. Both junglers opting for the red buff start, which is appropriate. Getting a little bit of leash though. Alex is going to walk down and help. Alex is also one that's very interesting, right? We've seen Alex play before in games 1, 2, and 3, and being more on the aggressive champions, being more in the front lines, and given more agency as well. Being put on the Malphite signals that, I mean, you feel like you're okay at points, but I mean, it is surprising to not see that pressure given over to Alex and given that agency.
Yeah, maybe that's what he's been playing today, but at heart, Alex is a tank main. This guy loves his tanks, and I think you're in for quite a treat, honestly, to see this guy's Malphite.
We saw the Mordekaiser before, I think, and that one was very enjoyable as well. However, Kino already laying down the groundwork, the foundation to a rough start for the Malphite. Getting some chunks down, ensuring damage there. Haruki doing the same, trying to get the auto attacks, proccing that stun. That's going to be a good landing.
Yeah, we've got the Comet build for Malphite, so he's just going to throw his Q every time mana flow is up. This is generally the strat. Haruki already getting caught up by Peanut, though.
Oh, this one's going bad, and I think the rundown is going to be a problem. That's the knockup, you can't really get away. You're already halfway up the lane. Can't do too much. Great first. Maybe a bit more. Nope. Drew immediately lashes back out. It's just like, this is the change that all Amumu players are so happy about. Yeah, I don't want to go in. I'll get back out of it.
Yeah. I probably would have kept going forward and died, so it's probably better to just go out there.
You and me both. There's a reason we're on the desk, not playing right now. Like, I would have been like, no, we can take this, don't worry. And Solo Mason's literally at 50% HP.
Yeah.
You ain't doing that. Oh, man. Shopkeeper also getting stunned up very heavily. Haruki looking good shield. That's going to be another tick, and that'll be the kill. Haruki getting a kill, surprisingly enough.
Yeah. I honestly did not expect the Ignite. I wasn't looking. But yeah, great solo kill from Haruki. He's trying to push this wave out and get back to base before he loses too much CS on the pushback.
And now it's on the top side.
There's a lot of minions here.
Yeah, and I think Kino's also, Kino's just waiting, and that's going to be a execution by tower here. Kino picks up that one. Doesn't want to give the assist over. So we are starting to see the battle lines being drawn a little bit, understanding of who is going where and what needs to be done. The junglers are getting very, very active. So much fun in this mid lane. Not in the CS department, but getting the early kills and at least keeping even against the world.
Not having TP is probably a big reason for that CS difference. But yeah, really kind of abusing this Ori early, which I feel like I wouldn't have expected.
However, the surprise grip on the bot side means Solo Mason quite low insurance we want to fight against. But honestly, it's not a good trade. Solo Mason and Drew are actually the ones walking away limping. Day and Insurance are more than happy to just sustain up. We're talking about before. This is stable.
Yeah, there's just so much healing and shielding in these fights that it's just so hard to burst through. You really you need a couple items on the MF before you can actually start blowing them up.
Oh, and they can't even get the recall off, and that's an unfortunate pace. Day in the Light said thank you very much. Solo Mason gets chunked out.
Yeah, kind of a greedy place to try and back from. Kind of one of the things that we do too much in the circuit.
I have noticed that actually. In the first 2 games, it's just like, oh man, we got a team fight win. Oh, we can keep pushing. Oh no, they respawn. We're now dead. It's almost like a seesaw value. You think that you have it all, and then you kind of forget that the opponent can do almost the exact same back. Taking a look here. Chance in the mid lane. Drew looking for a game. But just showing up here at least. Lost is currently level 6, same with Haruki, but if they land a bandage toss, hey, maybe you get there.
Yeah, it's at least nice to look when your MF's walking back to lane. You might as well do something, and even if there's nothing there, it's better than just sitting at your own tower waiting for MF to get back to lane. But rotating now into Dragon, this should be EXE's, seen as Jarvan's heading still on the top side.
Get that chance, maybe to get a little bit extra value. Right now, it is just stacking up your wing cons. Macro currently handled inside of EXE. That's gonna be a chance. Look at this. After the dragon, we're seeing a fight forward. Dash in though as a double knockup. Day in the Light, their APC alive. Now getting out triple root going in and picks up the kill on a Mumu as well. The challenge was there. And that is going to be Tempo Rush, meeting it and exceeding expectations.
Yeah, Amumu was pretty low on mana when they started that fight. I think he didn't realize that he wasn't going to be able to like throw any Qs. I wonder if he just had like his W on for the whole dragon. But this is, he still has his ult, so Kino might just be dead here.
Yeah, that's Alex laid the smackdown. Kino was like, yeah, I can't do this.
And now that that has happened, this lane is going to get much easier for the Malphite.
Yeah.
He has his ninja tabbies. He's probably going to go back at like a Warden's Mill, make it so that the autos do less damage.
Just be the annoyance, right? Right now, though, Kino getting very angry about the current situation. A shard to the face slows him down, and even the Ram is thumbs up. Okay. Kino goes, yep, okay, my butt. This is the problem that I'm...
Well, yeah, Alex is planning on recalling here anyway. The trade doesn't really mean much on his HP, but he did about a third to the Akshan, who just TP'd back, so Alex is totally fine with that trade.
And I think a larger extent problem now is, as you said, Kino, one little chunk is going to be a problem. We have not seen Peanut actually float towards that top side at all, I think, right? We saw some inklings, but it was never full blown, and because of that, Kino doesn't actually have any reliability. We're seeing it more down on the bot side. Solo Mason getting chunked out, has Flash and Ghost, but can't use either. A quick pickup in Insurance's pocket. The battle lines are being drawn, and the favoritism coming out is being seen.
Yeah, these Enchanter bot lanes are always so annoying to play against, but Amumu coming into the mid lane looking for the trade kill.
Oh, and they get it. Drew should be able to survive, has enough HP. It was a heavy fight, but Haruki gets it for free pretty much. And now the question is, how many plates can they get on bot side? Exchanges all around leaves 1.1k or so in favor.
Kind of surprised he was able to get that second Q onto the Orianna there. It looked like there was a melee minion in front of the Ori, but really well done by Drew to keep that pass. Day
in the Life also hoping for a knock up on Solo Mason, who just got back to lane, by the way. This has been painful, to say the least. Going for the lethality build as well, ensuring that, of course, you're not really going to get a whole lot of auto attacks down. Might as well go for that first build. Oh, the knockup. Demon Ruler has to burn that flash, but Peanut actually follows. Surprisingly enough, going to use the Cataclysm and going to die as well. Supple Force jumps in, but Alex, I mean, can you 2v1? Get one. Another is coming up behind, and you're going to try and flash out yourself. You do survive. Now we're going to go back to the bot side. Interest all alone. And there is no recon, and that's an easy burn down. It's going to be bullet time used and actually dodged away. No real excess. There it is. Flash forward. Have to expend just about every summon.
I do like also making sure to Q before she walks past the minions so that he can get a reset on that passive. That is a big portion of the MF damage. It might not have been enough. Oh, and the Khan's just there to get the trade kill anyway.
Oh man, this is
it's so brutal.
Haruki wants it, gets the final Q as well, and gets away. I think gonna be chased down either way, but dang, these kills flying fast and thick. Who's Haruki gonna give it to? Are they gonna give it to Insurance? I mean, okay. There's gonna be even the slicing maelstrom. Just use it. Just have a bit of fun. Still though, trades in the mid lane falling into Haruki's favor right now.
Yeah, I don't know the cooldown on that ultimate, but I hope it's up for this dragon fight.
That would be important, especially since EXE already have one. If you get the second, that would be the Infernal. And that would be a nice little boost. I think it's 3% extra AD and AP. Kino though, Kino. We've been talking about this time and time again. We haven't seen it. Kino opted for the coal now and is trying to draft up a little extra gold in their pocket. It's still painful to look at.
Yeah, I mean, I still wonder why banning the Nautilus over this Malphite pick. You know, like, I know how much he hates playing against it, and he knows how much Alex is willing to play it. I wonder if how much of that Kennen mid pick kind of like got in their heads to make them think that they didn't have to ban two top laners.
Well, if it bites him in the butt, it bites him in the butt. Drew trying to clear out this ward and actually willing to sacrifice quite a bit. Shockwave used in the mid lane by Lost Shopkeeper. And with that Shockwave down, you were talking about the Slicing Maelstrom. Well, two big ticket mid lane ultimates are now down for this dragon, and it really is going to depend on who gets there first. Herald dropped in the mid lane.
Yeah, finally, Kino seems to be putting down some of this poke onto this Malphite. But with dragons spawning, it looks like EXE is going to be there first.
For EXE, that's something that they have been playing for this whole time. They've been ensuring that they're on top of those global objectives. Steal chance could come in though. No vision inside the pit just yet. There's the flag. Will the drag come out? I don't know if you really want to challenge it. I don't think they are. That's going to be the strike that's going to be the take, and we are going to get the Cloud Soul to play for. A lot more fast-moving champions.
A lot of ult cooldown, which is be really useful on a lot of these champions too.
They're going to enjoy that one, and hopefully to a grand extent. Keeping eyes though, in the current situation, only about 1.5k in the lead. It's not a significant lead by any stretch, but we're seeing the burn start to come through. Insurance though did have to go the Merc Treads. As a Seraphine, it kind of needs to.
Yeah, but when you're up against two massive AoE stuns, maybe that few bit of CC lets you flash out of that second follow-up, and which could really change a fight.
It's a small thing. It's the little things to happily make it work. Right now, everyone's still checking for small moments. A ward down made sure Lost to Shopkeeper was kept on their toes. Drew roaming between bot and mid. Bot side though, Solo Mason might have smelled out a possible rat. You can see the J4 was hiding behind. Actually canceled their back, so this is going to be that chance. Drew hiding over on the wings, no follow from behind. Peanut staying down here, thinks something's gonna happen, and they might have caught it. That's gonna be a flash forward. Drew with the Curse of Sad Money into the bullet time. That's gonna be the Kennen though. Slicing Maelstrom up and available. That's gonna be a double stun behind, and now the damage is down. Look at the follow through though. Unstoppable Force lands from the teleport. Day in the life may be dead in the night. Solo Mason gonna get chunked out though. This Akshan said, "Gimme the kills." Tempo rush, rushing forward, giving some resurrections, and coming out, I would say, even 3 for 3.
I I think that was 3 for 3. Everything pretty much used, but there's no Ori ult, and Vi was not there to help lock down the Seraphine. But that kind of seemed like it was the Merc Tread kind of difference there, because the Mumu got on, but the Kennen wasn't able to follow up with the CC. Could have been some of that tenacity getting the Seraphine too far away for the Kennen to be able to follow up.
Hard agree on that one. You saw the makings and the ideas come in, but just not able to fully extend, not able to fully complete this movement. And it's something that they will have to keep track of for the time being. Really, really watching and really hoping to see some more, though, as there's going to be plenty of time. We just passed 15 minutes, and the teams are still vying for control. Peanut, though, might have found an Amumu, a very alone Amumu. Haruki really doesn't want to get into the fight. Slicing Maelstrom is not available. Lasu Shopkeeper ready to lay the smackdown with that shockwave, but not going to happen. Herald's still on the table.
And we're finally getting some items completed on both sides. We're having, obviously, the Bork first to try and help him get through this Malphite, with some Leandres as well. But a locket for the Khan, maybe to try and survive some of that insane burst damage that EXE has.
I think you're also hoping to try and negate some of the AoE as well. You get the shield for everyone in some of the different happening. The fight's still ongoing, though. Kino has completed the Blade of the Rune King, which will help out quite a bit. Now sitting at 3-1-1 in their own right. But Herald is slow to be kicked up, is the best way to put it. This is going to leave Solo Mason available for those bouncing bullets. Ricochet is so strong.
Yeah, finally the MF poke is kind of coming through.
Oh, the flash, and that's going to be the kill. Once you burn that flash, you're good. And as you said, Solo Mason poke wins.
Yeah, finally getting, without the second person there to help shield and heal the Seraphine, the healing goes way down in this lane. The W needing to have a shield on before it even heals makes a really big difference.
I think for Solo Mason, they're going to try and keep this up. Remember, this combination of the Orianna and the Seraphine can pop off later on, giving a lot of crowd control. So you want to shut down, you want to make sure you can answer that combination with your own. Dragon up in about 40 seconds. If EXE are able to grab it, that will put them on soul point. Kino, though, wanting a chance at a jump in. That cloaking is starting to become a problem. However, first tower will go the way of EXE, as again, they are controlling the macro. They may not be strong in the laning phase specifically, but the macro to get these towers, to get these dragons, has been very key.
Yeah, it's not often you see the Malphite up 15 CS and up a tower against the ranged top lane, but I don't know, Alex has just built diff on this champ.
I still wonder if Alex has ever played the lethal tempo, or is it pressing attack or lethal tempo Malphite? I don't remember which.
I think it's probably press the attack with the auto W auto.
Yeah, that was it. It was just like it was like it was the punk slap pretty much. It was just like, I will slap you into oblivion over and over. It was great. Right now though, Herald dropped in the bot side, trying to get some value out of it. However, it won't even get a charge off. Instead, it will be cut down by the rest of the team. All 5 members are down here. Everyone is ready to party. You can see the wards being placed down. I mean, this is on a nice set.
Yeah, this fight could determine who is going to be winning for the next like 10 minutes. Everyone's here, everyone has ult, almost all sums, just no flashes on either AD carry. This fight is going to be what's probably going to change the flow of this game.
And you can see both teams kind of playing around the dark right now. It's not easy for them to work. A teleport coming back in from Kino out of Fog of War, or in Fog of War, ensuring that they get a couple extra items, but it looks like they found one. No Christmas Sad Mummy Juice just yet, but there it is, there's 3. And the bullet time is charmed out. No bullet time behind. The Slicing Maelstrom might be enough, though. Take a look at the damage. It is not enough. Look at the burn, look at the damage, look at the moves. It is done. Ace for 0 in the blink of an eye for Tempo Rush as they rush that fight.
Yeah, this is gonna be the Dragon. EXE is lucky that Baron isn't up yet. Just like a nice look, but also poorly executed. Just not being able to layer all the CC all at once, and then having the MF ult just get almost instantly denied by the charm.
It's something that we all have to sit there and go, dang, did that really happen? And it looked okay. Drew started off with a good bandage toss, but you saw they waited a lot. So capitalizing on that, as you said, the CC layering was not perfect, and I don't think it ever will. That is something EXE, I think, need to understand, is they're not going to get the perfect ults. They need to find the good ults. Also, making sure Solo Mason doesn't get caught on the back end and charmed out of the bullet time.
Yeah, it definitely seemed like they had caught someone out, and they didn't want to pull the trigger on using everything to just kill what they had, and waiting just caused them to lose what they had, and lose so much more.
With Baron on the table now, it's going to be another question of how well does this fight go through. Keep in mind, Day in the Life still has Splash. Like, that will be the continual answer to the MF bullet time. Solo Mason might be able to get some poke down from before. Item and a half in the pocket. Still working the way towards the big ticket items. But for this moment, Alex will be on split push duty. Still being that annoying pain in the butt the Kino side.
Yeah, but all of a sudden the lead is all the way up to like almost 5,000. Just about 4.5. 2 items completed for the Akshan, 2 items for Seraphine. Temple Rush is just in a really strong spot right now.
A strong one, a lethal one as well. Good dash away. You only leave one in favor, but that's the bullet time that you need. And that's going to be the Crystal Sad Mummy there, chasing down multiple members. Day in the Life gets healed up. Flash over the wall, leaves them dead. Shut down over to Solo Mason. The chase yields 2. And pressure over mid.
Yeah, finally just pulling the trigger on the people that they see, taking what they have. And now they should be able to convert this into a Baron, I would think. Seraphine does have TP when she's up though, so this might be a bit of an overextension.
Could be. I mean, Phoenix on the back flank looking for a chance. It's going to be the wash of the Scryer's Blue. Shockwave lands on 3. Brutalization and the kill. Akshan brings it all home. And just like that, the possibility that was in EXE's pocket becomes an inevitability of their Baron loss.
Yeah, but doing it right in front of an Ori, and she just happens to pull the trigger and just, I don't know, they almost like kind of clawed their way back a little bit and then decided to try and turn the game entirely, and it just kind of backfired.
Oh man, it was so glorious to watch both ends happen, right? We saw EXE come out with a dub on that bot side, and then all of a sudden Lost 2 Shopkeeper just said, yeah, it's all me, don't worry. And that turns it right back around. That lead that we were talking about is expanding ever further. 2 towers drop that were left up. The freestanding gold is flooding into RSH Tempo Rush's pockets. You can see it there closing in on about 8K, just shy, if you will. And namely, it's sitting on Akshan. 4, 1, and 7 has picked up multiple shutdowns on the back end as well. Building 2.5 items still has yet to get picked, but the legendaries are more than enough.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see what he's building next. Seeing that he already has a BF sword, maybe it's just an IE. I don't really know too much about Akshan, just know what the builds are these days.
I think Akshan, I think he can do the Infinity Edge because IE is now Mythic, so it would still give those stat bonuses. So it's a possibility. At the same time, I
wonder if it's just like a bloodthirster and he just ignores mythics the whole game.
that could be the other side of it, right? Just, who needs mythic? I don't care. I don't care. I'm doing well enough, right? As long as you secure those end kills and get the resets, I
yeah, I'm curious to see if EXE is gonna contest this.
Well,
Just one way.
They weren't contesting the dragon. They contested a recall, which I still say is okay at points. That was a statement right there. Oh no, the statement's back though. That's gonna be a call down. A good couple of hits. Insurance falls out on a Haruki's life. And Kino is allowed to play this game. Look at the chase down, look at the damage. 2 fresh kills taken away so quickly. Just in time for Dragon again.
Yeah, they're definitely gonna have to give this Dragon now. It's not the end of the world, it'll be 2-2 in Dragons, but this game is slowly but surely falling into the hands of Tempo Rush, and it's just gonna get kind of harder and harder from here on out, I would think.
And I mean, what are their options here? If you look down the line, I mean, you take a look at the competition, you know what they want to do, but what is the optimal path and where would it be at? for them to be able to kind of find their way back into this game?
I believe in order for EXE to probably win a fight, they kind of have to get this Kennen on a flank. So they're gonna have to do some weird, tricky warding to try. Or she doesn't even have team key, so that doesn't even work. I don't know. It's pretty tricky. You need to get someone to flank, or I guess you just mind control the enemy into running it bot. I guess. I guess that works.
What was that? What was that? Where did that come from? The Curse of the Sad Mummy was down and they say they're fine? And now Interest is gonna get a 2K? What is this? What is this? What is stupid thing? What league is this? What is going on here? Explain to me.
This is a really high quality League of Legends, clearly. I don't know, people it seems like they're just getting overconfident. They must have thought Seraphine was backing farther. I don't really know what happened to Tempo Rush. They just kind of walked up really greedily over some vision and just got punished for it. It's a massive MF ult.
They just legit did not care. They after they saw the Curse of Sad Mummy, nah, we're fine. And then we walked straight through an MF bullet time. That is something that cannot happen in the future, which I don't think it will. Don't get me wrong. Even with those kills, the gold lead is still extremely in favor of Tempo Rush. And with some of these objectives coming up later on, Baron in about 2 minutes, you're excited that you'll have all ults ready to go, but again, you can't allow those small opportunities to happen. We talked about it, right? Solo Mason, literally the only thing that they have to do is press R and pray at all channels. And if that's allowed over time, I think Tempo Rush will not like the outcome there.
And this Kennen is also just going to shred as well, especially if it's later to over that Amumu ult, so it does true damage. That could also just completely turn a fight as well. It really comes down to whether or not they can land this wombo of their team comp. It doesn't really matter if you have a wombo comp how far down you are, because there's always the chance that you just completely wipe out a team.
Both teams actually have that, and it's so much fun to think about, right? As much as we're talking about these small little moments, the fact that both teams have the ability to just nuke the other makes this vision that's being laid down extremely important. Take a look at the top side. For Tempo Rush, they have triple wardage around in key locations, but not just that, deep in enemy territory. Taking a look at Lost 2 Shopkeeper and Kino, both of them may be looking for a flank opportunity, especially with Kino having that ability to cloak in just like this. This is going to be a slow follow-up. They're going to try and open up out. He's going to try and get pinched here. Kino and Lost 2 Shopkeeper are ensuring that they're away from each other, but that's going to be a flash in, and again, the turnaround, and now a jump onto Lost 2 Shopkeeper. Kino can't do anything. The assault and battery takes their life, or so it seems. Solo Mason gonna try and get to the front. Encore goes wide, and it's not gonna work. Now the jump away. The rest of the team is now dancing in and alive, getting over the wall, and this is looking like a pinch. Oh man, Tempo Rush saying this is all ours. Quickness gathers everyone. You knock them, everyone into the sky. Bullet time is gonna land on so many, but look how little damage it does. This is a problem that will not be remedied by simple answers. Haruki trying to shove this tower down, taking all of the tower shots for it. And it will be bot lane exploding for the likes of Tempo Rush.
Yeah, EXE finding a couple of picks, but not having that final Kennen ult there to really help seal the deal on that team fight. Even still, it's nice to see them trying to just find things in the side lanes.
They're at least looking. Right? They are looking, they're trying to find these opportunities. It's just, it does feel a little too far too gone right now. You take a look down the lanes, look down the gold values, and it just feels out of their grasp. Take a look at that Kino getting a solo kill on a Solo Mason. Look at that, the gold ever climbing. Everyone outside of Day in the Life is sitting above the 10K threshold. And it's just a problem right now. All 5 members are up. They're going to look at spare. Not a single dang thing that EXE can do.
Yeah, I guess I would have liked to see maybe Demon Ruler try and get a steal here to try and keep this game from going out of control. But it's still pretty hard, and the game feels kind of over at this point.
Yeah, I mean, this is just cleanup duty. Haruki getting chased out alone. Can't even get any sort of slicing maelstrom off. Curse of Sad Mummy only cries himself to sleep That is going to be death. All members are currently up. Double kill for the Akshan. 3 currently dead with 30 seconds on 2 of them. They don't even care about the dragon. They're just looking to end the game.
Yeah, with MF, for how great she is in teamfights, not the greatest wave clear. She does have her ult, maybe to try and clear a wave, but it's going to be pretty rough to hold up this off with just these 3 characters.
I think this is going to be it here, Super Sig. This feels like it's done. The jump in to deny, the encore to draw everyone in, the unstoppable force to give us a burst of glory. But it is the finale here in this game. Game 4 of the day. Game 1 for Tempo Rush. They take it in stylish fashion. 30 seconds on the clock. It is good. Haruki will be ended here as it's another ace to come through. Spin your wheel round and round. GG's over. Time and time again.
Yeah, just really well played. This team comp of all enchanters with Ori and Rakan and Seraphine, just so much value. And being able to sometimes just outlive all the burst from EXE. Just well played around the map as well.
I don't think that's going to stop.
This team is still just the one to beat, even without Sutter on it.
Of course, and I mean, I'm excited to see what more they can do. We are going to have an interview with Kino here in just a little bit, I believe. Or am I crazy? No, not Kino, I don't think. My brain doesn't want to work. We will have an interview, though. We will have an interview. It will, no, it is Kino. Yeah, Kino's here. My brain doesn't want to work. All right, we'll go to a very short break. We'll get the interview ready, and we'll get to talk with one of Tempo Rush to get a little bit of a thought on how that game went. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty, we are back here with an interview. Very quick, very easy, because it was Kino. Kino was ready as soon as the game ended and wanted to get into the thick of things. Kino, how you doing after that victory? Game number 1 on the day.
Oh, I'm feeling good, bro. Feels good to win, and hopefully we go undefeated, but it is.
Yeah, so during the draft, I'm curious about your picks and bans. I'm like, normally I see you banning Scion Malphite second phase against Alex. I'm kind of curious why you dropped that Malphite ban for the Nautilus instead.
Well, honestly, bro, that's a question for Shopkeeper. I don't pay attention at all at drafting. He just says, ban this, pick that. I'm like, oh, okay, bro, I'll do that. But, like, I wasn't really scared of the Malphite for me personally, because I know Akshan is actually a decent matchup, believe it or not, in Malphite. Since we already had Akshan available, I was like, the most likely to go pick Malphite, so don't really need to ban it if I'm confident into it.
I think that's fair. If you're confident in it and you have also practiced it, I think that's great. Taking a look here, though, early stages look kind of fun as well. A couple trades here, back and forth. I do want to ask, there was a point, I think, in the bot side about midway through the game that we watched your entire team. After a Curse of Assad money came down on 1, you all just kind of filtered into the enemy team. What was that about? Can you explain that to me?
Was that at the bot turret?
Yes, it was at the bot turret.
Oh my god, man. I don't know what my teammates were doing, bro. Like, all I remember was I saw Shopkeeper flash R and then miss and then just die. And I was like, what the fuck? And then I walked out of the bush and revealed myself and I died. I was like, oh my fucking god. I'm sorry if I'm using inappropriate language, but like my mind was actually exploded there. I mean, I was fine, like mentally, but I was just stunned IRL for a bit.
I think that's appropriate, though. I think that's appropriate and understandable. You had a hand in a great victory, and taking a look at the rest of the games, are you excited to continue on? Because you'll be on stream pretty much throughout the rest of the games.
Oh, yeah, definitely, bro. I'm ready to show everyone that everyone sucks.
Oh, I like it. I like it. All right. With that, we'll go ahead and send you off. I'm sure we'll hopefully see you in the next interview, or at least winning the next game. Thank you so much, Kino, for the interview.
Thank you. Take care, guys.
All righty. With that, we'll go ahead, go to another break. Super Thing, you and I will be back in just a little bit with game number 5 of the day, the second from the last one on the end. And so far, I think things are getting spicy. So everyone, if you're watching, please don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with some more EGL double round robin action.